Dad Narok reacts to The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime. This is Sean.
And this is Chris. Colon, really? That just leads to bad jokes.
The colon of power? I don't know. The Rings of
Oh,
Power. What ring are they talking about? The brown ring.
wow. We went down that road. Oh boy. Oh, who's
Oh
putting
no,
that ring on?
we've already derailed. We just started. So we've already reacted to a teaser of this, and I guess a new teaser came out that's even longer, right?
Yes. What over 2.5 minutes? They gave us a true trailer, not a teaser this time. It's a true trailer. It gives
Good.
us a better look at the world. Not so much. I don't know if so much the story, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit, but it actually gives us a feeling of what the show's going to be about.
Well, you and I are pumped about this. We've been talking about it for a while. We know, the story behind the story as far as how much money Amazon spent on this dang thing.
Yes,
And we'll get to see it, come this September. It's coming up close, man. It's less than 2 months away.
I'm ready
Um,
for it. No, let's go ahead and watch it.
let's dive into it.
There was a time when the world was so young. There had not yet been a sunrise. But even then, there was light.
Call to me, lands far away.
Elves have forests to protect. Dwarfs their mines. Men their fields of grain. But we Harfoots have each other.
For I must now wander this wandering day.
We're safe.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel. Put up your sword.
The enemy is still out there. The question now is where?
It is over.
You have not seen what I've seen.
I have seen my share.
You have not seen
What is that?
what I have seen.
Darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all peoples.
I am sorry, but their time has come.
The past is with us all. The past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
Away I must wander this wandering day.
Dude, that scene there just gave me chills.
Yeah.
With them walking and that little song, and it harkens back to Frodo and Sam walking away for the first time. That one shot, which we know obviously it's not.
Yeah, the Hobbits, yeah. You know what's crazy about this show? I almost feel bad that we're not gonna get this on the big screen. Like, it looks so
You
good.
can see the money, you can see the shots. It does not look CG. It looks like it was on location
Yeah.
shooting. This looks fantastic.
And we give props to, they're able to do some crazy things these days with, The Mandalorian and stuff has great effects, they use the volume and stuff, but this looks I mean, the effects, they're going I think they're doing it the right way where, of course, there's gonna be a ton of CG, but they're also doing a lot of practical effects.
Yes.
And, they're going practical where they can go practical, and they're, elevating it with CG, which is the way to go. Because my biggest complaint about the Hobbit trilogy is that everything looked like plastic and was too shiny and colorful and too much CG.
Yeah.
But this is like a nice mix of the 2 trilogies almost
It's
where
almost like they heard the complaints
Yeah.
of The Hobbit, and they reverted it a lot back to what the original Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
series was.
the orcs and the goblins are now back to being like men in makeup and prosthetics, and I'm like, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much about that when you see, one of the kings in stone with his hand out,
Yeah.
or how there was light, first sunrise. There's a lot about that. To me, it seems like this story is going to be centered around Galadriel.
That's what it seems to be.
I
Like, if
feel
you're
like
gonna
she's going to be the main character.
Yeah, I think so too. That's the way these trailers so far, and even the pictures that have come out have kind of portrayed it, which is a good character to focus in on because ultimately she had a decent role within the actual trilogy that we know.
Yeah.
Both of them, honestly. I mean, she was in both of them. So her and Elrond, and it'll be nice to see like the council of very important players in the Lord of the Rings, as far as Gandalf and the other wizards and Galadriel and Elrond. Like, this is almost like where they came from because they've lived thousands of years or whatever. So this is like them forming into the people that we know in the
Yeah,
Lord
I
of the
was
Rings
wondering. I
trilogy.
mean, when I was watching it, I was wondering about Gandalf. I was
Hmm.
like, he's a man, but is he like? I don't know enough about like his origins.
That's this whole thing is like the Cimmerillion really goes into this huge history where it's like my understanding is that the wizards are actually like these celestial beings that were put on Earth in the form of old men, so they can like talk to actual men and talk to actual
So those
elves and
relatability to him.
yeah, but they're basically like gods that walk among Earth, but they don't carry themselves that way. You know what I mean? Like, well, maybe Gandalf the White did a little bit once he was
Yeah,
back, right?
once he became the white, yeah,
Yeah,
he did. Man, that really, I've stopped my dive into the Silmarillion because, well, I got back into my High Republic stuff, and then I'm doing
yeah,
the
yeah.
Sandman stuff. But it's such a hard read or hard listen.
I've heard that. I've
So
heard it's like a history textbook.
it very much is,
Yeah.
and in the way it goes about it. So I may have to. I mean, the reason I got it and the reason I started it was for my knowledge for this show coming up.
Right.
So I almost got to feel like I need to power through it.
There's so much backstory. I know there is because it's like just touching on some of the things like why, not a lot of people know this, or, the folks that maybe just watch the movies, didn't read the books or what, but like, Aragorn is part of a particular race of men. That's why he was actually like 80, 85 years old during the time of the Lord of the Rings. And he's a part of this Numenorian race. And Numenor was an island that existed, like 1,000 years previously or something. And like the gods had bestowed like longevity to these particular men because they were heroes of some age or something. So like, and he's like one of the last Numenorians. That's why he's like prophesized to be like like the return of the king, that kind of
Return of the
thing.
King, yeah.
So like there's all this crazy backstory that like they didn't really even have time to touch upon in the trilogy that we know and love.
Yeah.
Trilogies. I'm always excluding the Hobbit trilogy, but I mean, the Hobbit's great
Honestly,
too.
you got to give it a second chance. If you can look past
Yeah.
the first one is heavy, heavy, heavy CG. The
Yeah.
second one they draw back a little bit. The third one, the Battle of the Five Armies, is by far my favorite of the three.
I did give it a second chance. I only saw the first one in theaters, and then after that I was like, I wasn't interested to see the other two in theaters. But, recently I got the 4K of both trilogies, and I did sit down and watch the entire Hobbit trilogy extended. They were the extended
Oh
versions
wow,
too.
wow, wow!
Yeah.
You went in, you went all the
I
way in.
did. I took a deep dive. But yeah, I mean, it's a great story, and the
The story,
introduction
yeah,
of
the story is great. Like I said,
yeah.
some of the CG was misplayed. They leaned too heavy into it.
Right, right.
But if you can look at the story itself,
And
just the story
Bilbo's
of Bilbo,
story with the dwarves and,
yeah,
the story of Gollum and his introduction with the riddles and stuff and Smog, like, that was good stuff.
yeah, yeah, it was. So, I mean,
Um
I'm highly looking forward to this.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like you are looking forward to it as much as I am.
Oh,
Uh,
sure.
guys, if you're watching us for the first time, if you enjoyed our reaction to this trailer, first and foremost, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because we will be doing a weekly reaction show to this show here. It may be partial with another one we'll be doing as well. It all depends on the timing, but we will be absolutely covering this show because, I mean, why not? pretty much.
Yeah, stay tuned to our channel because we're going to be doing Dad and Rock after shows. And the Rings of Power is a show that we're definitely going to include in that. We'll also be talking Andor. We've got The Sandman coming up on Netflix. So there's just a ton of good or to great content, hopefully, coming out in the next few months. And we're going to try our darndest to cover it all.
Okay, guys, until we see you next time, go ahead and keep it cheesy.
See ya.